In contrast to the Homo erectus, the Homo neanderthalensis, or in short, the Neanderthals, had a massive brain, about 1400 cc on average. They had large torsos, short limbs, broad nasal passage. Later remains, of course, show that there's a decrease in the robustness of the front teeth and face, which suggests the use of tools had replaced teeth. However, they retained the occipital torsus and had a receding chin. The common ancestors of the humans and Neanderthals lived in Africa as the Homo erectus or the Homo heidelbergensis around half a million years ago. After that, they moved north and eventually made it to Europe and Asia. Our ancestors, meanwhile, struck around Africa about 100,000 years ago before eventually conquering the whole of the globe. Neanderthals died out 28,000 years ago. They lived in caves and in huts made of wood covered with skin. There is evidence that they buried their dead and had rituals. They used tools of the Mousterian tradition and even had speech. Neanderthals, however, did interbreed with humans, as is seen from our genetic makeup. After the Neanderthals, it was the turn of the Homo sapiens, the archaic Homo sapiens, living from 100,000 to 35,000 years BP, sometimes called Homo sapiens and Homo sapiens neanderthals. These Homo sapiens had a smaller occipital bun and more or less a flat vertical midface. They had a prominent chin, a steep forehead, but a delicate brow bridge, besides a vertical midface. As mentioned, our ancestors, the archaic Homo sapiens, started moving out of Africa about 100,000 years ago. About 70 to 80,000 years ago, they moved into Asia, following which a branch of them moved northwards through Asia into Siberia, while another branch of them moved southeastwards through the Indonesia into Australia. 30 to 40,000 years ago, a branch moved to Europe, while that branch, which passed through North Asia, crossed the Bering Straits into America around 10 to 15,000 years ago. The tar pits in Los Angeles that indicate the presence of Homo sapiens is only 9,000 years old. South America appears to be the last continent into which Homo sapiens migrated. Of the archaic Homo sapiens that migrated into Europe, the most well known is the Cro-Magnon man. Their name itself comes from a hotel in France. Cro-Magnon humans lived between 35,000 years to 17,000 years before present in Western Europe. Their most striking feature was a 1600 cc cranial capacity. Archaic Homo sapiens indulged in minor sculpture. Artworks such as beads and carvings. Beauty, they say, is in the eyes of the beholder. But paintings, it seems, has a universal appeal. But most important of all, between 40 to 10,000 years before present, man became an economical animal. He became a gatherer rather than a hunter. He specialized in the various professions of a woodworker, an architect, and a warrior, who with a bow and arrow defended his land. Most of our knowledge of the culture of our forefathers comes from studies carried out in Europe.